Okay, November 5th, 8:30 in the morning. We are going to ride our motorcycles up to Texarkana, fuel up, and ride back. We've been to Texarkana enough that we don't need to ride around. There's nothing that we haven't seen up in Texarkana. But we'll probably just find us a Sonic and pull in there, get us a soda, and take a break, and then ride back. And we're going up to Texarkana on Interstate 49. We're going to pick up Interstate 49 off of 220 that goes around Shreveport. Hold on, I'm listening. Good Lord. Sneezed out some brain matter. So, November 5th, still no president. And I'm going to try not to think about this today. And
what give it to the Lord. That's what I do.
I'm telling you, I'm just giving it to the Lord. Lord, your will be done. I just can't let this eat my guts out anymore. We're going to try to keep busy and try to keep our minds off of this. Give you a little gratuitous dog footage, napping dog footage. Who doesn't like napping dogs? Do you have a napping dog?
I do. She's kind of in my lap, but not really.
Okay.
Spilled over to the side.
And Lucy's outside on the front porch laying in the sun, hoping squirrels will walk past her. And first thing we're going to do, I've checked the weather. It's going to be a nice warm day. And the wind will be at 13 miles an hour blowing to the north, which will be good because we'll be on the interstate and we'll have the wind at our backs, which makes it a lot easier to tolerate the wind. And on the way back, it'll be in our face, which will be better because we'll be taking Highway 71 back and we'll be able to drive a lot slower. 55 in Louisiana, 55, maybe 60 if we get people stacked up behind us. So, first thing we're going to do is get all our garb on, and then we're going to ride up to the gas station, and we put exactly, yesterday, before we left, I filled both motorcycles up right to the point where they're supposed to be filled up, right to the bottom of the fuel filler neck. And today we're going to fill them up to the exact same height, and we'll get a good idea of what our fuel mileage actually is on these motorcycles. So we'll know how far we can ride without having to worry about gas. It's 100 miles up and 100 miles back, roughly. So when we a couple more hours, we'll probably head out. 10:30, 11?
Yeah.
10:30, 11. We'll head out. So I'm going to drink my coffee, go down, probably clean the bugs off the windshields and check the air pressure on all our tires. And then we'll start getting dressed. All right, we're going to call that. We're going to call that 70 miles divided by 1.48. This is my wife's bike. And that comes out to, according to my iPhone calculator, 47 point something miles per gallon. So we're going to just assume my wife's bike gets about 40 miles per gallon. That'd be a safe assumption. Dear God, that's a loud ring. I'm fixing to go home, get my bike, and come back and fill it up. Well, according to this, I'm barely getting 35 miles per the gallon. So I'm gonna set my trip meter to 100 miles, and then I just stop and fuel up at 100 miles and start keeping better tabs. Actually, when I get on Interstate 49, I'll set my trip meter to trip B, which I can do right here. Yeah. And then I'll just start watching it between mile markers and see how far off my... Anyway, all right, we're ready to go here in probably an hour. Okay. We're ready to...
I can't get this off of here.
We're getting ready. So, see you in about 3.5 hours.
Good God, look at all the hair in my helmet. What?
Is it gray?
Yeah. Yep.
Who's been wearing your helmet? These at 65 miles an hour, when these things start beating you in the face, you feel it. So I think I'm gonna try to tuck this collar underneath.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I gotta button the top button and then tuck the collar under.
Why don't you just do it like this?
Or cut it off. Okay.
Now then, button.
I can get that. Can you get those gloves on?
I can take my gloves off.
Okay. Okay, it's gonna be a billboard and a skinny mini going down the road.
I got so many clothes on, I feel like the Michelin Man. I got 3 insulated, 3 shirts. That ought to work, Brad.
Okay. We'll know in a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, I have a little anxiety about getting into traffic because we haven't done that yet.
We're gonna find a Swift truck and fall in behind a Swift truck and just tag along and hope no tire parts come falling off.
Yeah, I tell you, I mean, there are dozens and dozens of times over the years when I was driving, I'd have motorcycles
Tag along behind us, yeah.
tag along with me and
The wash,
and
when you get behind a truck, the wash is a little bit hard to handle, so you got to position yourself far enough away where the truck's wash doesn't jiggle and jostle you around. But, you know, it's far enough away where that doesn't affect you, but close enough where you don't constantly have people trying to get between you and your front door. All right, we'll see you in Texarkana. Well, we didn't make it to Texarkana.
stop, got gas.
I'm hurting like hell. I've got to get them forward controls moved out. It's about the most uncomfortable position a person with a bad back and a broken tailbone could be in. And, you know, what, 72 miles, 73 or something like that.
Yeah, I thought I was getting low on gas.
Yeah, her fuel gauge is wrong. And, these do not get good fuel mileage at all. And hers is an 1800, mine is a 13. I'm getting like 35 miles per gallon. You're getting way better than me, even with a power commander. So
My first bike, Brad, I had to stop between 100 and 120 miles and get fuel. You don't remember that, but
I don't.
I every time I fueled up, I said, okay, 100 miles. Remember, we mapped it all the way across going to Orlando. Every 100 miles we stopped and got fuel. Okay, I'll shut up.
Okay,
so
this
you're
is
doing way better than that bike.
this is Highway 71. So we're going back home that way. And I'm drinking a cup of coffee. My wife's drinking a soda water. I'm going to stand up here and apologize to my butt for a couple of minutes. And then we're going to head back to the house. My wife says I didn't tell you where we are. We are in Fouke, Arkansas. And they made a movie called The Legend of Boggy Creek. And this is where it happened. Bigfoot. As a matter of fact, I'm going to turn this around so you can see what we're across from. Supposedly that's Bigfoot. I love me some Bigfoot documentaries. Never seen one, but you never know. Okay, we're home. We put 148 miles on. It doesn't seem like much, but when you're riding in a gynecologist's chair, because I swear to God, that's what this feels like as you're waiting for a pap smear. If all the motorcycle engineers on this planet got together and decided to create the most uncomfortable riding motorcycle, this is what they would come up with. I'll tell you what, between my legs being up in my ears and the seat being hard as a stage plank, boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is a very, very uncomfortable motorcycle. Although it does take the bumps better, but we came down Highway 71 north of Shreveport from Fouke, Arkansas to Shreveport, all the way down to 220. My God, they just gave up on that road. I thought I was breaking ribs hitting them bumps. Some of them bumps are so hard, I felt like I broke a rib. Okay, enough complaining. I just fueled up. So 1.4 gallons into that. I'm going to do that right now. I do not know how it's possible, but this says I got 50 miles per gallon. I don't know how that's possible. Let me go look at my wife's bike. Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay. 70, what does that say? 70.2 divided by 1.5. I'll be right back. Yeah, about 46 miles per gallon on the way back. So I think if we shot for 40 miles per gallon, I think we'd be safe. This fuel gauge does not work. It says, quarter or empty when you have way over that. This said between empty and quarter, and I put less than 2 gallons in, so it doesn't work. So if we base our driving on about 40 miles per gallon, we'll be safe. Okay, I'm going to put these motorcycles back in the shop and do some ciphering and see if I can afford those forward controls that move your feet out. I believe it's 4.5 inches. Anything would help. And because of the forward controls, there's just nowhere to put crash bars that you could put highway pegs on. So I'm kind of stuck with this. We just may have to take shorter rides, that's all. We'll see. All in all, I'd rather hurt from riding my motorcycle than hurt from sitting in my knife-making chair or sitting in a recliner. Okay, this is my update to the updated update of our ride. I am going to try and I have no choice. If for me to ride this, I've got to make that seat accommodate my tailbone. And there's no aftermarket seat that will do better. So I'm going to do to this seat what I know has worked in the past. I've done it to lawnmower seats and other seats, and that is cut into the seat from the backside. It's got hard plastic back there. And then remove a bunch of the foam right where it hits my tailbone. And then take a soldering iron and sort of weld the plastic back onto the backside of the seat. I know I can do it. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. And, I'm not big into going into credit card debt. So I paid half my credit card off today. And next month I'm going to pay the last of it off. And a month after that, I'm going to buy my forward controls. And that should make this motorcycle way more comfortable. And we're just going to have to make mental notes of roads that we just cannot go back down on a motorcycle. And Highway 71 was one of them. And, there's not many other roads that we've been on that were as bad as Highway 71. And Highway 71 runs parallel to Interstate 49. And my suspicion is that when they put Interstate 49 in, they gave up on Highway 71. Highway 71 used to be the only way, besides Highway 59 in Texas, to go up to Texarkana. And, 71 was a very, very heavily traveled road. Log trucks, tank trucks, a lot of commerce, traveling between Texarkana and Shreveport. And there was no way to avoid Highway 71. So I think they just abandoned Highway 71 and gave up trying to repair it. And boy, did it show. Anyway, so tomorrow I am going to take that's going to be a video. I'm going to take that seat off and I'm going to cut into it. First, I'm going to sit on the seat and get a good idea on the seat where my tailbone hits the seat. Now, that will eliminate probably 60% of the uncomfortable ride. And then the rest of the uncomfortable ride is having my legs up so high. Now, I am tall and I have long legs, so what's happening is my legs are up so high that when I turn, my leg gets caught between the handlebars and the gas tank. I mean, that's ridiculous. Whoever designed this must have been a very, very short person, or they never got on it and rode it. So when I get the forward controls on, between that and hollowing out where the seat hits my tailbone, that should make this thing much, much better. Okay, see you tomorrow. Oh yeah, I just thought I'd give you a few seconds of gratuitous chicken footage. Is that not the strangest thing? What a weird chicken. I'm telling you, when we are on this front porch, that chicken does not leave. She sits here with us until we get up and leave. And so far, has that chicken pooped on you yet, hon?
No.
Not once. No? Isn't that strange? I mean, we expect it, but so far it hadn't happened. And she's only pooped in the house one time. And we have her in there a lot, so.
Not anymore. She's been bringing her
muddy feet?
Well, she rolls, she makes her little dirt pile over there and takes a dirt bath, and then she forgets to shake off before she comes in.
Okay.
So I'm not letting her in for
till springtime?
Well, yeah, probably.
Okay.
Or maybe never.
Okay. Mary. Mary, she just Mary.